Oh, I have another one right there. I gotta put that switch on. Boop. The glue. No. No, I fell on the floor. Shit. Actually, was that within the first 30 seconds? I do not know, and I really... It was, and I really don't give a shit. I'm not freaking monetized. Who gives a fuck? That's like 3 curses within the first 30 seconds. You're not supposed to do that. You know that, right? Yeah, well... Who cares? I don't. I clearly do not. Look. I curse, and that's fine. What's up, Runa? Cursing happens. I'm not gonna change that. The naughty language. Oh my goodness. You changed your logo, your profile picture. It is Prim McDonald. It's Prima Grims with a McDonald's hat on it. What is going on? What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? Micto promo Mic promo gems. Oh, what was the thing they had to do? It was Perilous Trail. I have Cleansing Light, but was it not? Was I not supposed to come here? Where is the character story? Wait. Wait. What? Where's the character? Is it in quest? Where is the character story? Oh, wait, story quest. There we go. Okay, I had to do. Yeah. Why does it all move that way? Oh yeah, that's right. I got the tea cup. I got the tea stuff. Yeah. I remember now. Thank you. I am so dumb. I feel very dumb today. Like, I feel very, very dumb today. This is the dumbest I've felt in a while. Oh, there's that guy. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do, but you're supposed to, like, follow after him or something like that, and he gives... Oh, I got stabbed in the face. I thought he was right there, but apparently not. Like I said, I'm a bit dumb today. When I mean dumb, I mean like dumber than usual. I don't know why, but it's the truth. It's the gosh darn truth here, man. I'm just feeling real dumb today. I don't know why. I don't feel very brilliant. This thing right here telling me.
Where'd he go?
He probably went back into sleep.
Looking for a tea set himself.
Or perhaps the ley lines did not have the power to sustain him for very
They probably
long.
didn't, and that's what's sad.
As was the case with the memory we saw earlier.
So we won't get to drink his tea? We didn't even have a chance to say goodbye.
The information held in the ley lines is complex and disorderly. The fact that we were able to meet him to begin with was a miracle of fate. Well, this chance won't come often. I've watched Furuyama brew tea on many occasions.
Well, that's kind of
I doubt
sad.
I should have any major problems doing it myself. The tea is ready. Please give it a try. So many thoughts were racing through my head as I was brewing it. I'm not sure how to explain it. You're right. But the things we've seen today have brought back many memories for me. I've been reminded of many people, too.
Shit.
Kitsune
I'll do it again. I got this.
Makoto, and all the other friends who I watched pass even further back. At
Magic!
the Yashiro Commission,
That's how you do it.
I kept the conversation reasonably lighthearted.
4.
But now,
It's in 4 text messages.
I'd like to broach a heavier topic, if I may. The events of 500 years ago not only robbed me of my friend, Kitsune Saiku, they also
Well, now my
took
give.
her away from me for good.
She
How
died
might
in
this
that
work?
disaster too?
You know what that means?
I can send him again.
went to
I can
Conrad
send a gif of what I wanted to send.
Unlike me, Makoto was no martial artist. Whenever similar crises had arisen in the past, I was always the one to face them in her stead. But this time,
Like this.
the circumstances were so grave that Makoto had no choice but to leave me behind.
What?
Or perhaps it was more that she went ahead of me, put herself in front of me.
Shelby
I would
Hertz,
remain
Maki
hidden.
Mustang. That's pretty cool, but 65 grand.
In any
That's.
case, by the time I realized what was happening,
So it's basically okay. Yeah, no, that's not gonna cut it. I don't want that.
yes, she had already lapsed into unconsciousness by that point. So all I could do was enter into her mind. As far as you're concerned, it would be somewhere similar to the plane of Euthymia. It was there that we bid each other a final farewell. I cried bitterly. Even in those final moments, I couldn't understand her actions. Why did she go to Conria first, and not I? Why did she keep me in the dark about it? Was it to shield me? It was there and then that I resolved to pursue eternity. As a testament to that decision, I saved her realm of consciousness just before it collapsed completely, and brought it back to Inazuma.
That's quite a story.
When I returned to Inazuma, I was shocked to find that a great sakura tree had appeared on Mount Yogo. The tree that you know as the sacred sakura. That's exactly what everyone back then told me as well. That it had existed since time immemorial. They were so matter-of-fact about it, and couldn't at all understand what I was so surprised about. No one questioned it. And yet, its presence contrasted so starkly with the area as I remembered it. It seemed as if I was the only one to have noticed it appear suddenly out of thin air. In the end, I simply had to accept that it was a miraculous effect of Makoto's consciousness. With the help of the sacred Sakura's power, I was finally able to overcome the monsters and quell the disaster in Inazuma.
This is all really hard to understand.
Yes. She had such a great love for this land and for its people. I once told myself that I would
I
never
need
speak
to
of the
wake
events of
up, cause I am tired. I need to wake up a bit more. Gary slapped me.
even the tea that is most bitter to the tongue
He's not gonna do it. He can't do it.
leaves some sweetness in
Tail
the
whip.
throat.
Gary
And
used
it's
tail whip.
time
Gary used.
comes with it all.
So I can do it. I'll ask the little kitty cat. Oh, I got a kitty cat. That's not supposed to be right there, right then and there. That's what this is for.
Oh,
Kitty cat tail whip.
while we're on the topic, since you experienced that battle in person,
Made in China.
Brother. I had heard that you were looking for your family. You mean to say that he was somehow involved in the communist
Yes, yes, he was.
what we've learned so far, it seems so, yeah.
I'm sorry. I wasn't there for the whole thing. By the time I arrived, the worst of the fighting was already over. And also, my mind was consumed entirely with the plight of Inazuma and the fate of those closest to me. So, I am afraid I can't help you.
Oh, well, that's a shame. But it can't be helped, I guess. Boy, both of you have experienced...
Well, that's kind of nice.
With this last cup of tea, let us honor the Tea Master's memory. Thank you, Destiny, for giving us the chance to meet again.
We should go. Let's keep following the traces.
Very well. Based on my investigation so far, I believe this next pack of monsters should be the last.
Well, it depends on if I can find where the stuff is. That'd be very nice. There, yep, see it right at the edge. Oh, well, stop doing that. Why would you mess with me on that? I see it right there, but unless it's meaning that it's gonna go down this way.
Feeling lucky? Coming at ya.
Oh, well, that's very nice. Oh, I get what's in here. Well, I gotta get the last one. It was ran away from me.
Catch the wind.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I know. I see it. I see it. I see where I'm supposed to go. All I know is those dogs do not have any understanding of what's coming to them today.
Once again, please leave them to me.
Hey!
Fear not.
Well, I want to do the fighting.
Shine down.
Because now I have bleeding on me, and I can't do the job myself, which is what kind of sucks. I want to do the job of my characters instead of freaking dealing with like some other character who's gonna bleed out and potentially die.
Are you alright?
That's what I mean. I would rather use my own characters. But the game is making me use her, and I don't really want to do that. Oh, he's... That's weird.
There is no escape. Inazuma shines eternal.
Well, that worked. I didn't really want to, like I said, I didn't really want to use her. I wanted to use my characters, but sure, we'll use Raiden Shogun.
Maybe you should leave this one to us.
My apologies.
Don't worry about it. Just take a breather and get your strength back. We'll deal with the... Look, that's the same light again.
Are they gonna fight?
Where am I? Who are you? Almighty Shogun, you're here too. Are you injured, Your Excellency?
I'm quite all right.
We, the Shogunate Samurai, will defend the Shogun until the very end.
Can they actually fight those guys?
They're coming back for more!
Don't!
Danger is our duty, ma'am. If we were the kinds to shy away from danger, we never would have taken up arms to begin with.
No need to worry, Almighty Shogun. When the situation looks bleak, we will draw on the power granted to us by the gods.
Is that a vision?
It certainly is. I know the gods are omnipotent, and their willingness to grant their power to humans means they have high expectations for us. If the Almighty Shogun is in trouble, now of all times is the moment for us to honor them.
So that's how samurai of that era understood visions, huh?
Full of hope
Nobody
and
knew Your
unwavering
Excellency
commitment.
had gone, and we were starting to despair. But now we've found you. Just the sight of you appearing before us once more has reignited the hope in our hearts. This hope is the light that will guide us out from the darkness.
Everyone, on me!
And what's funny is it's also nighttime.
Huh? Affirmative, but watch your backs.
I don't need my back to be watched.
The Almighty Shogun!
With rocks. This one's got your name on it. This one's got your name on it. Now you shall perish.
Freeze! Don't get frostbite.
Feeling lucky? This one's got your name on it.
Like I said, it's gonna be no problem for me and my characters. No problem.
It seems like their attacks are finally over.
I've never fought so fiercely before.
Thank you all.
I'm surprised that they actually could do anything.
Are you okay? Maybe you should keep resting.
I'm fine. I feel much better already.
You fought phenomenally. It was truly awe-inspiring. The monsters will definitely come back. And when they do, it'll be more than a few Rift Hounds this time. Quickly, escort Her Excellency back to Inazuma City, and regroup with the General's forces as soon as possible.
When everyone sees the Almighty Shogun safely returning, their spirits will be lifted.
Well, what are you guys gonna do?
We will stay here and guard against the monsters' advance. We cannot afford to let them get any further. We are brothers in arms. As long as we stick together, we can face any number of monsters that come our way.
Unfortunately, they've passed.
Just leave it to us. Fighting is what we do best. But the Almighty Shogun is the only one of us with the power to change the present state of affairs.
That's what's
Only
kind of
Your
sad about this
Excellency can
storyline
turn
right
back
here.
the tide of despair and lead us onward into the future.
These are their memories, their spirits.
Inazuma.
This is them in their
Always
final
place our
days.
faith in the Almighty Shogun.
Thank you all. I should not have left it this late to make this promise. But from this moment forth, know that I shall be true to my word.
Don't worry, Your Excellency. We will never doubt your word as long as we live. With you leading us, we will claim back everything that Inazuma has lost.
Glory to the Shogun!
Which is what kind of sucks because like
Come
they never get the chance to, you know, add anything more to the story other than being spirits.
Immense pain. But in what the result being that in the centuries since their sacrifice, I have dishonored their will. You could take the view that whatever I say to them is meaningless, because they are but disembodied memories held in the ley lines. But even so, they are due a resolution. I owe it to them, and to all the people who have placed their faith in me to date.
Well, Paimon thinks that even if it's a few hundred years later, you're doing right by them now. And that's what counts.
Thank you for your comforting words. But this is my basic duty as Inazuma's Archon. And I have neglected it for far too long. I used to think just like that samurai. That I was first and foremost a warrior. And my only duty was to face whatever challenge came my way. But what Inazuma needs more, even though I am utterly unlike Makoto, and can never become the person she was, I still... Yes, they are. They are strong and resilient, and have much to be proud of.
Stretch.
As for Raiden Shogun,
Stretch.
dear,
Everything.
I
I
should
know.
not be the one
I'm
to
not
hold him
super
back.
excited today. I'm just.
change will come to Inazuma.
I need to sleep so bad. I need things to finally end, and I need to sleep.
But eventually,
I just need sleep.
the
If I get
future
some
will
sleep,
bring healing to the
I'll be
scars of the
okay.
past. No
but right
matter
now
how long
I'm
it
just.
takes, I am
I'm
committed to
tuckered
bringing this
out
to
and
fruition.
tired.
This is my promise. Now that we've dealt with the Rift Hounds, this matter is halfway resolved. It does not appear that the threat will escalate for the time being. I will leave the Tenryo and Yashiro commissions to handle the follow-up work, such as investigate...
Alrighty then. He looks calm on the outside, but Paimon bets her emotions must be all over the place right now, huh? She seems to have changed a lot, huh? What's wrong, eh? What's going on? Are you feeling unwell again?
It looks like the situation... No need. She is calling me. The time has come. I need to go to the cave.
Who is calling, and why is it affecting you so hard?
A battleground. One where I shall sever ties with...
I'm kind of confused. Like, what are we doing here? What is the goal? Why is there a thing somewhere over that way? I need to know all these things. But, first and foremost, why is this a problem? Like, what? Like, I just don't know what's going on. I gotta go up higher. Higher, baby. Gotta go higher, baby. Gotta go higher, baby. I don't know what's going on here, to be honest. Okay, so where do we... Oh, it's still below. It's somewhere. But I don't know exactly what specifically it... Oh, it's over that way. What specifically it is that is causing her to, you know...
Hey, so Fops.
And we're still too high up.
What's a treasure chest?
Oh, hi, dude. Cool. Thank you. What was that? Oh, sweet.
What a stroke of good luck!
Dang it. I got distracted by the treasure chest. But to be fair, it was a treasure chest. Alright, where is it? Where am I going? Why am I flying there? And what the hell am I supposed to do? Might want to just... Before I get absolutely obliterated by pure accident here, I might want to just decide, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. Let's heal up before we do it. For 1, 2, let's land on the ground before we get to the light, so I don't fall and kill one of my characters right off the bat. And, like, was it on 2, 3, or 4, Gary? 5, I wanted to have a drink of Mountain Dew real quick. I kind of forgot. Oh, yeah, it's that. Okay, yes. I had to pick up this. Now, there's some way to get in there. I forgot already. There's something I have to pick up, or something I have to do. But I don't remember. I really don't remember. Like, I can pick that up, but... Can I get off that, please? It's like right below, but like I said, I don't remember what I'm supposed to be looking for. There's the unbucked 2 beetles.
Shine down.
Maybe... No.
Illusion shattered.
No. Okay. What was it then? Go to the cave and... fucking... If I remember what to fucking do with the game... Oh, shit. Like, you're supposed to do something, or like... Oh, yeah. It's like this, but... But then... Kama shrines over that way. Alright, there is some way to do it, because I gotta go all the way out and around then. Because, yeah, I have to use that to get in. Okay, so it's... Fuck. So it's those things right there, technically. But then I'm super duper confused then. Oh, well, I can't. Well, that's kind of okay. It's a puzzle that I gotta figure out, and I'm gonna be stupid because I don't remember any of the things that I have to do. Let's go here. Let's drop on that, maybe. Fuck! That's there. That's there.
Shine down.
No. Yeah, I'm gonna be running around on this one for hours just trying to figure out how to do it because I don't understand because I'm the big stupid. It's gonna frustrate me to no end. Yeah, all the foxes all over the place. So where is the magical Zapdos sparky boom boom thing? So I can be able to grab onto that, go down like half the freaking mountain, and then, you know, do the thing that I need to do because I have no idea what I'm supposed to fucking do. So I just, you know, just randomly look around all over the goddamn place because, again, I don't fucking know what I'm supposed to. Oh, wait. Oh, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I did it! I found it! Oh, this is what I mean. Yeah, I'm genius. I'm absolutely brilliant. Yeah! I did it! Finally, I figured it out! It took me freaking a bajillion years, but I did it. Oh, that's, not scary.
Whoa! Where'd that Torii gate come from?
This is a place I once sealed off with my own hands. The entrance to Raiden Makoto's realm of consciousness. It looks like she will no longer allow me to do with this body as I please.
Huh? What are you talking about? And who is...
It's time to go into the portal.
Follow me.
Where are we
No questions asked, just went straight the fuck in there by pure accident. We were sucked into that purple portal.
Whoa. This place... Look, it's another A!
Identical twins, aren't they?
Traveler. This body is an assistant to the one within, but it is also the guardian of the rules.
Wait, what?
Should the one within wish to stray from the rules, this body shall stand in her way.
Wait! Paimon knows that voice!
You have wandered the realm in my body, and you appear to have grasped the true essence of eternity. You believe your present self has greater certainty than your former self. Thus, you believe your present self is correct. But have you really been enlightened with new ideas? Or have you been degraded by irreversible erosion?
What?
I'm here to show you my answer. We are both warriors, and the dialogue we must now have...
Wait!
The discomfort I was experiencing earlier was caused by the Shogun rejecting my continued use of her body.
What?
As she
What?
invites.
What? Huh? What?
Once I started entertaining the idea of change, I became hostile in her eyes.
Okay.
But inside a realm of consciousness, I exist independently of her. She cannot affect me in this way. Though she is a puppet, the Shogun has her own consciousness too. When necessary.
Okay, I don't even want to know.
Paimon gets that everyone has their internal battles and stuff, but not like this! It's a bit extreme! Hey, showdown with the
Well, I was not expecting that day either, you know. I'm just, you know, supposed to be here.
The Shogun herself is the manifestation of my past ideals. The very
Yep, here's
foundation
all the
stone of
wreck
truth.
right now.
It shall not be easily swayed. I would not try to change her if it wasn't necessary.
Jesus.
Isn't there any other way? Can't you talk it through or something? But they both just want the best for Inazuma.
My form is a symbol of supreme majesty, in which has been vested power over all the realm. It is the cohesive embodiment of all that constitutes the Raiden Shogun. It inherits Ei's pain, the pain of inevitable loss that comes as she moves forward. So too does it inherit her determination to reach eternity. Every action undertaken is for the sake of resisting erosion. Determination, courage, love, hatred. All of these will be degraded and is only...
Whatever. Okay, can we just get on with it? Because, like, now I'm just... My mind's lost. I'm so out of it. After listening to all of this, I have no idea what's supposed to be going on. And there's too much philosophical talkage.
Am she who promised a dream to her subjects. Raiden A.
Raiden A versus Raiden Shogun. I'm just...
The mighty Oni maiden was cut down and disgraced. Though your blade has been cleansed of her blood and filth, never shall it shine as brightly as it once did.
Ow.
No escape. This ends now. Inferior. Torn to oblivion. The beauty sakura blossoms that once filled the skies fell to the ground as pitch black rain. As long as the ley lines flow, the relentless erosion of time will never stop.
That's nice.
Completely recovered?
Illusion shattered. Your verdict is decided. This one, a fleeting shadow. Inazuma shines eternal.
And swipe that shit out of that.
Shine down. The divine lightning that envelops all of Inazuma will fade silently into the cloud.
Alright, I guess I can actually at least heal up at least.
There shall never be another. Never. For the rest of time. Inferior. Weak. Pathetic. Now you shall perish. Shine down.
There we go.
Crumbles before
You finally
Took a minute, but...
It appears your martial prowess has not dulled. But how long can your will remain strong?
How the heck?
In this realm of consciousness, her existence is tenacious indeed. She was built to resist erosion. Her will is stronger than any other living being's, including you and me.
Doubt it.
Does that mean this is gonna be a never-ending battle?
Maybe. But I have to prove to her that my present will is no product of erosion. The future I shall forge will be a grand undertaking. What if I don't do this? This is my duty. No matter how long this battle may last. Months, years, centuries. And no matter 500 years ago, humanity proved their strength here in the present. They rely on their ambition to It is about time that I learn to trust them. I understand that. I fight for the I vow to during my absence.
But this...
Pass on my words.
So she's gonna... Okay, so now we basically lose Raiden Shogun and I, who are both gonna be just stuck there fighting for forever.
I mean, really, she was making sense. And maybe this is the only way to change the Shogun's rules, but still... difficult situations. What if she gets too obsessed with winning and she forgets why she's there in the first place? It could happen. And then she might never leave again. Yeah, we should. Is there any way we can cut down how long she needs to spend in there? Or, you know, help her with, well, whatever. We can't let any. Oh, but we also can't get in there anymore. Okay, well, first things first. We gotta find a way back in.
Come on, brain juice, don't fail.
Brain juice, don't fail Paimon now. Oh, you're right. Who knows if she really understands these consciousness.
Yeah, it makes sense that Yao Miko would technically know how to get there. Oh, I get fucking just poofed up over here. That's nice. I just get like automatically teleported naked people into this fucking battle, you know. That's nice, you know. I like that. I like them apples. Makes perfect sense. Just, you know, just poof me up here. I didn't want to do that, but, you know, the game decided, you know what, fuck you. You're gonna be up here now. It's like, can we not do this, you know, today? Can we just, you know, do the things that we want to be doing, you know? Or am I gonna be stuck doing stupid things this entire time tonight? I'm probably being stuck doing stupid things tonight.
Let me get. I hope you realize how lucky you are. If it was anyone else, I don't think I'd have the patience to keep greeting them with a smile after the first few times.
But you're always smiling.
That was a figure of speech. Do you understand? Nitpicking my turns of phrase. The sheer audacity.
Oh, yeah. Something really big's happening.
Okay, so we explain.
Oh, okay, I see. So, Ace decided to palm Inazuma off on the humans, while she goes off on her own to fight a fierce battle that doesn't even have an end date.
No, it doesn't. It's got like a forever date, technically.
Jumps straight to the most extreme course of action imaginable. Presumes her sheer will can see her through, despite a near impossible goal that requires nothing short of the very peak of her abilities. You know as well as I do that she's always been like this. Why start fretting about it now? Rushed into it without thinking. Well put.
Yeah, kind of.
She acts like such a child sometimes. So you seem to be under the impression that I am able to offer some sort of help? Who gave you that idea?
Paimon's brain juice.
Is she playing dumb?
Uh-huh. You're learning, little one. But really, the truth of the matter is that I don't know much more about Raiden Makoto's realm of consciousness than you do. All I know is that it's the foundation of the sacred Sakura. And from what I've heard, it's a little different from A's plane of euthymia.
Because Raiden Makoto
For a
is
fucking
the
minute there, I'm
one
just thinking like, just boom, boom,
Not
boom,
just
boom.
because of that.
Boom, 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 boom. Just fucking rave music going on in the background. I don't fucking know what's going on. Back in the other room, just some rave music going on. Just like boom, 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 ten, boom, 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 ten, boom, 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 ten, boom, boom, boom. Everybody. I don't know. I don't know. I do not beatbox. I do not have that ability. I can talk silly. I can't beatbox at all, but I can go boom, 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 boom. That's all I can do. Wait, what were we supposed to do? Okay. Yes. Where do you find it? 'Cause you had to go like right here, and you had to go like right there, and you had to fall. The fuck is he watching over? You know, I'm gonna find out what my father's watching real quick. Hang on, cause it sounds like rave music and it's concerning. Dude's watching the Minions right now. Dude's watching the fucking Minions right now. It's just like, what? I was wondering when it was just like boom, 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 tam, boom, 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 tam, boom, 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 tam, boom, tam, boom, tam, boom, tam, boom. Oh, it's. Oh well, they just got rid of it, all of it. That's nice. And I finally discover how to get in there, and then as soon as I go back and use the method to get in there, Yao Miko's just like, yeah, nah, waves that shit away. It's gone. There's no more things to care or worry about anymore, you know. It's just, you don't think it's gonna be in there anymore.
The exact spatial location of this realm, I can still send you to where A is.
So, it's abstract, but has a location. But you don't know where it is, but you can still send us there. What?
Yes. No
Yeah.
need to try and understand it. Let me put this simply. Right now, she is surrounded by chaos. Everything is turbulent and disordered. If you try to force your way in, you could be swept away by a giant wave that sets you down in an unknown corner of space-time.
Okay.
This is precisely why when entering the plane of Euthymia, it's much safer if you place your consciousness in a physical object first.
What? Alright, well, Paimon, stay here then. You two can go in.
Suit yourself. Worst case scenario, all we stand to lose is A. So what's the big deal?
Paimon's had it up to here with both of you!
Oh, well, if you're quite sure, then of course.
Yeah, Paimon, you're gonna get thrown under the gosh dang bus.
I say. Oh, nothing. It just seems extraordinarily chaotic, that's all. My suspicions have been confirmed. By the way, remember to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes when you enter inside.
When did my...
Only a strong enough will can prevent you from being swallowed by
Okay.
the giant waves of abstract space.
You
Only
were
if
closed.
strong enough can I deliver you to
But
the
sure,
right
now you can be open.
destination.
Cool. Love that. Love when closet door mysteriously opens by itself. You know, that's lovely. Well, during stream, you can't really see it because obviously it's not pointed that direction. It's like right over that way, and that way it's, you know, you just can't see it. But surprisingly, it's it's open. I don't. Okay.
Well then, the door's open.
I'm not gonna question that today. Don't
Stay
care
outside and provide
enough.
what stability I can. I'm placing my god in your capable hands.
My God.
For my
Oh.
sake and for Inazuma's, please. Bring her back.
I'm putting my God's,
Better know what you're doing!
That's enough
my
chatter.
God's
Get to work.
faith, life in your hands. Bring back my girlfriend. Is this the way she said it? My God's. Like that was like I is hers. Like they're a little bit more than best friends, if you know what I mean. Just a little bit of sweetheart thing going on right there. I'm just saying, it just. What the hell are we doing here?
Remember to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes when you enter inside. Only if you are strong enough can I deliver you to the right destination.
Or we randomly come out and just, you know, we're in some other universe. Which that's kind of nice. We gotta be perfectly capable of landing in the right spot. And now they're both gonna be like, wait, what the fuck? What the fuck? Dun 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 dun. Yeah, they're both like, what the fuck?
How can this be? You have returned. But how were you able to get back in? And how come you have not changed at all in all these years?
This is a duel to remember. It is as if we have returned to the moment when the laws of eternity were first established. Your will today is as strong as it was back then. Over countless battles, not once have you lost, and never have you shown the slightest hesitation. Had I made all enemies of eternity stand against you, you still would not have wavered. For your firm commitment to enforcing the rules, you have my admiration
So I'm
too. You bring honor to the
So I'm
temple realm.
guessing, based on how it was said, that those say, I would say maybe like 20, 30 minutes of running to get Yamiko and talking with her. Maybe, let's say maybe like 30 minutes to an hour outside of that realm. Apparently, it was years inside this realm.
Now these two return once more to this space. An inevitability of fate, perhaps. Then, let this be our final duel. The conclusion to that which began 500 years ago. Final duel? Stand back, traveler. I'm going to be the start of something new.
Oh, is this gonna be a cool cutscene, or am I still fighting?
The time our duels took to fight.
Oh yeah, I am still
was long
fighting.
enough to witness the rise and fall of nations. The energy they consumed, great enough to vaporize the oceans and turn.
Oh, well, that's not very nice. She turned into a freaking hand monster. And now she's got a bigger chest. What is going on with the bigger chest?
And crush streams.
She got a super big sword, too. Let's slow down for a minute. Slow down, slow down. Build up some stamina. Woo!
There is no escape. Witness the final calamity.
Well, that's not... Oh, I was needing to do that.
Illusion shattered.
I do not have my super ability either.
Inferior. Eternity is in my hands.
Pull away from that real quick. Oh. Oh! I did it!
There is no escape.
Actually, right before that. Because I already took unneeded amount of damage.
Inferior. Illusion shattered.
Oh. Well, that's not very nice of you.
Perish. There is no escape.
Man, nothing I can really say.
This is the end. I believed you were incapable of transcending the past. But it seems my belief was baseless, and I underestimated your spirit.
Sure.
But a will that cannot be eroded has no way to embrace the future. You need not worry about the future. And you aren't alone. I know your power more than anyone else. Had I relied upon my strength alone...
So I'm still kind
I
of
would have lost
confused.
this duel for
When
sure.
it comes to the character, I doesn't have a physical form, and she needs the Raiden Shogun puppets to be able to walk around and do anything in the real world. But she created the puppet, but she also had a physical form at one point, but no idea where that physical form went, I guess, apparently. But it existed at some point, and she exists somehow as a mental being who can take over her puppet.
To encourage me. I noticed it also.
I don't understand.
It seemed to unleash a new and unfamiliar
I really
power.
don't.
This power is beyond the limits of my understanding. This blade belonged to Makoto. Perhaps it can only respond to me with its full power when I truly understand and believe in her.
Then again, like, there are other
When I
puppets that
clasped
exist
Ishin in my
throughout the
hands,
world, apparently. And again, I still don't know how they live and how they have a soul or how they do anything. Like Catherine, for example, apparently is a frickin' Snezhnaya puppet.
Makoto barely wielded a
All
blade
of
in her life.
Catherine is. So that makes no sense to me.
Closer to her. You have my approval.
I forgot what it is. The group Catherine's working with, the hero community or whatever. Is that all Snezhnaya plant or whatever? Is that all made by Snezhnaya, or is she just like inserted in as like a betrayer of the guild or
rules have never
whatever.
changed.
I don't know. What
You
about
used to represent my past.
frickin'
But from
Balls
today on,
Deer? Because apparently
you are
he's
me.
also a puppet. How the fuck he
Makoto
exists? He
never
apparently
saw
was
me as a
born, but is
harmless
also
weapon.
born into being a
Likewise,
puppet. How does
I could
he
not
live?
regard you
Where
as
is
a mere
his
tool.
spirit coming from?
Huh.
And
You
also
clearly
then,
have changed.
if
I suppose this is
if
what
they're
humans
puppets and
call
they're living and they have their
growth.
own souls and their
I
own
understand.
minds, what
I shall become
difference
your shadow,
are they
just
compared
as
to
you
a
were
normal
once
human?
Makoto's shadow.
Because then
But you
Nahida
said
could
the
jump
world
into
will not
anybody
change.
and take over
I am a
anybody.
warrior.
So,
I look
but
forward
she
to the
also
chances
could do
my
it into
efforts again
Catherine
in
and
the
take over
future.
Catherine's puppet body. So then, what does that
Do you say
mean
this because
for a
you have
living
not yet
human
reconciled
being
yourself
versus a
with your
puppet?
defeat?
Because apparently there's no difference at all so far,
It was
other
simply a
than
new
there's copies of
experience
them
for
all
me.
over the place, like
One
with
that is
Catherine.
worth reliving.
Have you finished fighting then? Like,
And then, if that's how that works, and like say Nahida can jump into someone else's body with her mind, what about her physical form? Can she just leave her physical form and go somewhere else? What happens to her physical form when she goes into somebody else's body? Can any of the other Archons do that? How does that look? Apparently, I guess frickin' the Geo Archon, I forgot his name right off the top of my head right now, can turn himself into a fucking dragon or copy a dragon and make a puppet dragon that can just fall into the ground that has everything that shows that it is the Archon, but it also isn't the Archon because it's just a fucking dead puppet dragon thing that's a fake body. So I don't understand some of the things. It's just weird, and I'm kind of confused, and I wish the game would explain a bit more because it makes no sense to me. Where is her actual body? Is Raiden Shogun her actual body? Just, given specific rules? Did she make her own body a puppet that she can inhabit or, not inhabit and have just run on, auto frickin' program basically, which is what it looks like it's doing. But then that begs my question, where is Ai's real body?
Fragment of my will in Muso Ishin, so that in the moment that you unleashed its full power, I too would be released.
And then I missed that's Makoto.
Well, you held such deeply entrenched views at the time that you wouldn't have listened to a word I said. There was no time to wait for you to have a change of heart. Please forgive me. All I could do was find some way to wait until you came to me. But you never mentioned this to me. Everything happened so suddenly. I'm sorry. I've always felt terrible for having to entrust Inazuma to you all of a sudden.
Like I said, none of it makes sense to me. I'm so confused.
I should have been the one to impart these ideas to you, a little at a time, to dissuade you from your pursuit of stillness.
Like I can understand
Did you know?
complex scientific terms and theorems and such like that. That's fine. Science I can understand,
Was not somewhere
Physics I can grasp the concepts. I can kind of get down with quantum mechanics. I can deal with that. I can deal. This makes no sense to me.
How long we have been separated before this reunion, and I don't know what Inazuma.
Because there's just so many questions when it comes to the storyline and the characters in this game that I have questions. I'm trying to comprehend them, but I'm getting almost nowhere, even in the story quest, because it's not explaining half the fucking shit I need to know.
Don't look down on me.
I don't like it.
See, you admit it.
I like the game.
It was with this
I like the
possibility in
stories.
mind that I left a parting gift for you. Something to soothe Inazuma's pain.
But just I don't get some of this other stuff.
Take it, before my last shred of consciousness fades away. But it is you who must take the most important step.
the light turned into a seed?
The miracle tree that blesses the people, in this moment new to the world and yet to be known. When to plant it, where it shall bloom. She who brings it into being must let her heart and dreams decide. Grant it life, eh?
Is it really?
infinity. Dreams illuminate each moment within. When both shine in unison, the sacred Sakura blooms from the darkness, finally free from the clutches of the heavenly principles. Now the nightmare has dissipated, and reality is made whole. The vision we both yearn for is still further ahead. My only regret is that I cannot witness Inazuma's future, nor can I walk this journey with you. Do you know, I am so happy right now, because my final wish has now come true. Your polearm once protected me from countless calamities. For this, I've always felt indebted to you. Though I could never repay you in full, this sacred Sakura will buy you some time until you are ready to awaken and embrace the new. What do you think? Did it do the trick? This time, it really is goodbye, eh? Goodbye, Makoto.
I still have no idea what's going on. I'm just sitting here just absolutely shocked, and all of a sudden I have no fucking idea.
So the A of the present planted the sacred Sakura in the realm of consciousness, and it took root in the Inazuma of the past.
So that's what I was kind of thinking that, but then it's just like it doesn't look like the fucking tree, but okay.
All of this is thanks to Makoto's
I kind of made the connection there. Made that assumption, but like
more profound
it's like
eternity.
they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't pull one of those, which is really weird and makes no sense to the storyline, you know. But I guess it makes sense that the ethereal plane that they were on is a plane out of time. It's a plane in a point in the timeline that is, you know, irrelevant of the rest of the timeline. It's in a world of its own. It's in its own pocket dimension that takes place wherever and whenever it wants. So I guess that makes sense, and it's kind of interesting, I guess, but eternity is a concept intimately connected with time. When you begin to touch an eternity, the concept of time becomes murky. Time was moving forward and backward at the same time. I'd have to think on that because I missed on a lot of what was said already. Alright, I, as present, planted the sacred Sakura in the realm of the conscious, and it took root in an Azuma of the past. No matter what you make of it, it's incredible. All this thanks to Makoto's power. Her understanding of eternity is much more profound than mine. Eternity is the concept intimately connected with the time. When you begin to touch an eternity, the concept of time becomes murky. Well, yes. Yeah, eternity is a concept intimately connected with time. It is technically. Eternity and infinity is intimately connected, yeah. When you begin to touch on eternity, the concept of time becomes murky. It only becomes murky because for an eternity is supposedly infinite. So when you try to touch to eternity, then the concept of time becomes pretty much irrelevant in the sense, because if you are going to be living, say, infinitely or for an eternity, at that point, time doesn't matter. It's not going to matter to you if it's 500 BC or if it's going to be 3,562 AD. It's not going to matter at that point because you're going to be living regardless. Time at that point really does not matter. Time is moving forward and backward at the same time.
A place where time is meaningless and cannot be understood with ordinary logic. So that was the turbulence I was sensing.
A place where time is meaningless cannot be understood with the ordinary logic. So, no, it kind of can be understood with ordinary logic in a sense, If I remember correctly, there are some studies on trying to understand what it would be like or what it would feel like in a sense that time being irrelevant or meaningless. Again, that comes back to eternity, where at that point, if you're living for an infinite amount of time, time is not going to matter to you whatsoever. If you're not aging, it's not going to matter. If you can be at any point in time, it's not going to matter. But what makes no sense for it is saying that, well, time is going backwards and forwards at the same time. That's the meaning of eternity and the issue of the meaninglessness of time, or where time is meaningless. Order logic. So that was determined. Again, it's you can still understand a timeline, like a single line of time, usually is going forward, and you might be able to go faster in time, or at least slow time down enough where your time is kind of irrelevant, but you're still not going to really be going forward and backward in time per se. And then if you want to have their ethereal plane that they went to, technically, that's going to be an outside point on the timeline that's not connected to the timeline at all, technically. So whatever you do inside there is going to be meaningless to the time outside. You can kind of understand to the point where everything inside there affects the timeline, but everything inside there is not affected by the timeline and is not affected by time on the outside. Because when we left, like I said earlier, we were approximately, say, gone for like 20, 30, 45 minutes going to find Yaomiko to get back in there. But inside, I and Ray and Shogun were fighting for years, apparently. Like, if not hundreds of years, approximately. In their own understanding. But if that were the case, then time would still have meaning in the place where time is meaningless, which kind of makes a slight paradox, I guess. So if it's a place without time having a meaning, and it's a place where eternity rests in a sense, then that's going to be a place where time has meaning. It's going to be a place where time is still flowing, at least in one way or the other, if not both. So I'm kind of confused and concerned by this, because eternity is a concept intimately connected with time. When you begin to touch on eternity, the concept of time becomes murky. Time is moving forward and backward at the same time. A place where time is meaningless and cannot be understood with ordinary logic. So, is there
Perhaps
any
that
more?
is the reason why you were able to return precisely to this point in time without any problems. And yet, that sense of disorderliness has now completely disappeared.
That
I don't fully understand yet. But my intuition tells me that the reason for everything,
And then we go back to the seed. Basically, you are your own grandfather at that fucking point in time, which then causes more issues with the theory, or them mentioning that time is meaningless in that place, because then it is a point. It is a point connected in the timeline. It is a point that is connected in the timeline at that point. So the seed was needed and was given to Raiden Shogun. So Raiden Shogun, or I think it's A, not I. I keep saying I because I'm expecting EI to be I and not A. Again, difference between the US and China when it comes to figuring out how to say words. So they're in a parallel plane that technically is part of the timeline, but technically is not part of the timeline. She goes there 500 years after Conria and meets her sister's spirit. Her sister's spirit gives her the seed to plant the ley line, or the big tree looking motherfucker. And when she plants it, it's planting it in the past, which then also erases Makoto technically and some of the other bits and pieces and ingrains the memory of the tree always being there. But then that's gonna fuck more with time and paradoxes because again that's that's gonna hurt my brain just because I'm trying because they're introducing stupid sci-fi sci-fi but stupid paradoxical bullshit into the story again. I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my mind trying to. My intuition tells me that the reason for everything, it's that seed. So, fate per se states that she had to have that point. It's a canon event. So then, at that point, trying to think, just trying to rationalize what the timeline would actually look like. Can I bring up paint? I'm trying to rationalize what timeline would look like. Oh, I gotta fucking type it in. Son of a bitch! Paint. Yes. Thank you. So I can try to rationalize what in my brain how this makes any kind of sense. Wrong one right here. Okay, so let's go with this one for being main time. MT shit, I suck at this. Main timeline. And then we have, where is my cursor? Where is my cursor? Oh, I can barely see it from here. I'm so stupid. Then you have this little bubble. This little bubble, which is the ethereal plane. I would assume this is Conria. This is present day. And this is, you know, wherever the fuck that is. I don't know what it is. That's right here. Present. Conria. So this is where we are. She goes into the ethereal plane, which is separate from the main timeline. It's just a bubble floating up above it approximately right here. Switch that. So that's basically a bubble floating away from it. But it's still technically, let's go like this real quick, attached to the timeline, or at least this version of the timeline. She's stuck in there. We come back out to the present, which we get kicked out to the present. This is, again, in its own area. We're here. We spend 30 minutes doing something. We get back into there, and it's been years inside there. So time still flows forward in here, but we're also told it can go forward and backwards. And go anywhere, really. But it's also not having time flow anywhere. So it's just still sticking right there. Conria is when Makoto dies and that tree blossoms. So you get the tree right here. Where's my green? You get the tree right here. The tree just randomly pops up right here. Everyone forgets that the tree never existed, but the tree exists here now. And after we get back here, it's been years in here for Raiden, Shogun, and A. Raiden Shogun loses to A while we come in here and watch her. Makoto explains something, I wasn't listening, and she gives her the seed that plants this tree, which then sets everybody on the course back to here. So from here to here to here to back up here. So then we have basically a loop. So we have a loop that's going to be going back and forth in time. Raiden Shogun's not going to know right here, but Makoto will know. So Makoto's already going to know. Raiden Shogun's just going to continue on getting more bitter, more bitter, more stupid. She's going to grow up, go back here once she figures things out, fights her ignorant self, wins, gets the seed, drops the seed, and the seed takes it back here. Okay. And then seed is reason for everything. So then time is definitely going to be ridiculous at this point. If that is true then, and it's just going to be going around in a circle, technically is that time travel? Because if that is time travel at that point, and that's just it'll technically be like in a sense, a reoccurring circle in time, and it's just going to be a thing that just keeps looping back and forth, and it will basically continue happening like it is just a point. So after all that's done, and they both come back, now they're on a different, technically they would be in the same present, but it'll be the present after, and then time should, from there, continue forward onto something else. So then from there, back to the present, and then going forward again, unless there's something else that comes up that brings us back to that ethereal plane. See, I am just trying to rationalize and figure this out, because this is making almost no sense, and I know you can't see my face right now because I don't have, the camera stuff, but I'm still here. I'm still trying to figure this shit out. That's what's going on here. Based on the context and trying to use everything that I kind of have basic understanding of. Right, so starting here, go here, come back, cause this, which takes us back here. So we'll have a loop right here. But what happens from there is what's questionable, because here's the main timeline again. After that point, does that branch off and create a new reality, or does that point, instead come down here, and after we go back, realize that it is a loop kind of a situation? Does that then mean that timeline branches off into a separate timeline instead of what we're going on? I would assume that after that point, after this loop right here, how we're now understanding, like, this is where everything basically goes back in time and you basically become your own grandfather in a sense. Then I'm under the assumption that once we get back to the present here, it's a completely different timeline then. It should still be the same one. It's just after you do the canon loop, you're basically going to be creating a new timeline. Unless there's others in the future, others happening as well. God, depending on what is the true scenario and how they're trying to explain this, because I can't rationally think about it right now. Whatever is the truth, this could be just a complete false sense. Everything here could be just like completely false, and it makes no sense at that point. But depending on how this game wants to take it, it could make more sense that it's probably just a line, loop back to the front, and then continue again. Like it's seeming like it's an event that has to happen, that goes up, hits a section, hits something over here, and then continues it back to keep the loop going, but all while this is just a figment of imagination or whatever, and it brings you right back just so you can continue on. It's so weird. So weird. I don't like it. I really don't like it. I don't like it.
Well, I'm not convinced that it was Makoto's power alone.
I know what you mean. Perhaps a higher power really was involved in all of this. But whatever the explanation, her solution is what saved us all.
Well, what do you mean by her solution? Just giving you... But whatever the explanation... Well, the explanation is what's the point. And I'm guessing Istroth is like the freaking god of time or whatever. And I would like to meet them and ask them a question of just like, how does this make sense to you? How do you want me to comprehend this? Because there is a way to comprehend it. I need to study more on time and the theoretical things of time per se. So I would need more research. I need to get back into reading books and the studies to understand if what I'm looking at here is kind of what's going on and like how to explain it more properly. But so far, this is basically what it is right here, and it's just gonna, based on everything I have knowledge of in this game so far, is this is a point in time where that's the present, and because it's on an outside parallel plane to this main timeline, it is necessary for the stability of that main timeline for this to happen. That if A doesn't happen, B doesn't happen, and then C doesn't happen. So you need A, B, and C to happen to keep D going straight. It's complex, it's ridiculous, but it's understandable if I could just if I could remember and or read more. I need to get back into reading about time and the theories on time travel, because technically this is dealing with time travel here, and I seems like they keep wanting to bring in some supernatural science fiction elements as well as bringing in theoretical physics into the game's storyline to try to explain things. Like I said, like I need to read a lot more to be able to understand this and explain it better, because I've not read into time in probably a decade. So I'm way behind. There's probably new theories on it as well, so I should probably do it. Like the last time I really paid much attention to anything when it came to time was like before Stephen Hawking's passed.
Without the sacred Sakura, Inazuma would likely have been completely swallowed up centuries ago by that disaster and the
500 years ago,
I
yes.
know you've always perceived there was something special about the sacred Sakura, but to me, it has always been there.
Which is what's kind of confusing, because it adds in a mystical fact to it, where Makoto creates the seed, and the seed gets planted. Well, how does the seed get planted, and why does only I know about the seed, or only know about the tree randomly showing up there? Why does everybody else already know it? Because it's a point in time where it's something that has to happen. It's a canon event, and without that specific thing happening, the entirety of time in that timeline would unravel. So her going and fighting Raiden Shogun to try to readjust Raiden Shogun's rules and laws and into understanding a new interpretation of eternity, she has to then beat Raiden Shogun, awaken Makoto's spirit in the ethereal plane, get the seed from Makoto, and plant it in the ethereal plane, which the ethereal plane will then plant it into the real world, which would also then wipe everyone's memories of what that mountain looked like before without it. Then also allow them to come back to the modern time about right where they left off. So without the tree being there, we wouldn't have Inazuma and I becoming who they are, and then going back into the ethereal plane to fix a problem, find a seed to find the seed, plant the seed, and then create the solution for the 500-year-old ago problem, and technically not fix the problem that they had going into the realm. She already technically fixed her problem in the realm by defeating Raiden Shogun and meeting Makoto and rewiring Raiden Shogun, but that's not. They also then planted the seed, which would become the Sacred Sakura, which would then make everything go forward in time like it needs to. That's why it's freaking That's why it annoys me, because I'm trying to remember all the concepts of time, and I'm trying to remember how time is explained, how time works, and how theoretical time travel should work, as well as go through timelines, like the theories for timelines. Which technically this also works for multiversal theory as well. So again, another concept that I have to try to frickin' think of. This game really wants me to get back into science. I swear to God. You know what? Fuck this. This game is a psyop for teaching kids science. Holy complex science. There you go. It's a psyop to fucking train kids to get into complex science and mathematics. Because it's consistently bringing up theoretical physics. It's bringing up it brought up quantum mechanics already. It's bringing up time travel and multiversal parallel universe theories. It's brought math and economics several different times. This game is trying to instill intrigue into science. 100%. I wish I was recording that, because that was. I'm gonna have to find this later, and I have to clip that one part, because this is kind of just starting to come together in my mind that this is a game, like, secretly Hoyoverse instilled the theories and science into it just for people to learn or get interested in learning, because now I want to get back into my books and try to understand this fully and try to piece out why or how it works and give the right explanation of what is going on there, and be able to show that in ordinary life you could definitely explain away what was going on in that ethereal plane and with the timeline going on there, which I kind of basically gave a little map for it, but I can't remember the words, I can't remember the terms, and I can't remember how to continue it from the point that I have it, which is gonna freaking piss me off.
You've tried in the past to prove to me that there's a connection between the sacred Sakura and Makoto's consciousness. But unfortunately, you never did persuade me, did you?
And now you should be.
No. But I understand why now. It was because the sacred Sakura hadn't even been planted then.
Yes, but no. That's where the main point of contradiction comes from. That's where the one point of paradox is at. It was because the sacred Sakura hadn't even been planted then. But it was planted then. It just wasn't planted technically the way you knew it was planted. Nobody knew how it was planted. Everybody forgot where it came from because everyone thought it was always there except for A. But that's where paradoxes come in. This wrong one again. That's where, like I was saying, if I can get this thing over here. So where I was saying, this right here becomes its own paradox. Because if that tree was always there, but you had to come here 500 years later into this ethereal plane to understand life and your own existence and whatnot, and then you plant the seed 500 years in the future, but in an ethereal plane that's outside of the timeline technically, but technically somewhat connected to the timeline, all points of the timeline, might I add, then it creates a paradox, and that's probably why no one remembers and why Miko doesn't remember, but why I would remember, because she's the one that plants it, but not when she thinks. She plants it 500 years in the future, technically, while she was away in Conria. So when she comes back from Conria, the tree is now planted, but she knows that that wasn't there because when she left, it wasn't. And because she's the one that planted it, meaning that potentially in this ethereal plane at that point in time when that tree was planted, there possibly could have been, out of nowhere, two A's on the main timeline at one point in time. If you want to see it like that, which is how it would usually be done, how they would come back to the past like that, just before, say, I'm just going to use A1 steak sauce, A1 and A2. A2 is the one coming from the future to mess with the past in a sense. A1 is somewhere else in that same point in time, just in a different location. A2 comes back, plants the tree right there. So there's two I's or A's right there. A2 goes back into the ethereal plane and then goes back into the future. While A1, steak sauce, comes in, sees the tree is now there. Nobody else knows it's there because A2 planted it. And because A2 and A1 were on the same exact point and were in the same exact time, they both share that memory right then and there of that plant being not supposedly supposed to be there. It would not have been able to trick A1 because A2, who is the same person, were in the same location, the same exact time, planted it. So A1 was protected from the paradox of, well, technically not really, but was protected from the memory erasure of the tree never being there before. So then, again, everything goes to the front, back to the present, with A1 not understanding why nobody else remembers that tree never being there except for her. And then she realizes that she goes back to the ethereal plane, becomes A2, and plants the tree while A1 is away in Conria. Damn. You know, this... Okay. But because of that, she can at least say the tree was not planted yet. The tree wasn't planted yet, which is going to cause a little bit of an issue with the story and a little bit of an issue with paradox at that point. Because for A, it wasn't planted yet, but for Miko, it was. She'll never not know.
But don't you think that tree looked a lot different than how it does now?
And that's also true.
The sacred sakura is within my purview at the shrine, so obviously I get to prune it exactly how I like it.
Ugh. Now we see who's pulling the strings.
I'm joking. That tree has been through a lot since it first sprouted. We have the loving care of Kitsune over the ages to thank for how it appears today. And obviously I played my part too. It's fair to say that very little time passed between the moment you came out of that realm and the moment you re-entered it. But in that same time, centuries of battling took place on the inside, did it not?
That's where it becomes questionable because of them saying that in that ethereal plane, time is meaningless, but time still went forward and still went backwards. So time wasn't meaningless. Time was still an important factor in that realm. It was just where time existed for that realm. That realm, who knows where on the timeline that realm technically existed, but time still existed in said realm. It's just where the realm was in time when you compare it to everything else, because it's a separate entity from the main timeline, but they both have their own points in time. We already saw it when we were outside of it. It took no time, like very little time passed, like minutes, but then years. And she says right there, centuries of battling took place. So time inside there technically isn't meaningless. It's not at all. Time still existed and time still had meaning. If you can still technically count the centuries going by, time still has a meaning. Time is still relevant.
Traveler, if I'm guessing correctly, you were repeating your wishes to yourself in your mind, weren't you?
I don't know what repeating wishes means,
At that
but
time, I could sense A's whereabouts, but I also sensed anomalies in the flow of time within that space.
by anomalies, is she meaning swerves? Is she meaning loops? Was she meaning branches? Was she meaning abrupt ends?
Suffice to say, time added a whole new dimension to our search. Simply establishing a location was not sufficient. Fortunately, your will was strong enough that the turbulence carried you to the moment in time most likely to be the intersection of all that you were wishing for.
Okay, so intersecting points in time, that could also explain the ethereal plane as well. Because that would mean, god dang it, because if there are several different timelines, if we look at it in a different light, that could also explain why. Hang on, okay, let me, if I can, how do I clear this again? How do I clear the whole page, or can I not do that? This, oh, that's not big enough. What the fuck? That's not big enough. Alright, no, that's not, none of that's gonna be big enough. Okay. Let's restore. No, I want to close. Don't save. Let's do this again. Paint. Okay, let's try to figure this out again. Alright, so what she's meaning is here, intersecting points in timeline, which could possibly explain another issue. Could possibly explain the issue, because if, let's, oh wait, no, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong button. Let's say, I'm gonna get this back up to maximum size. So, let me try to think of how to explain it without sounding freaking stupid. That's an intersecting plane, or an intersection of two timelines, which could also be the same timeline. Based on what I'm assuming, the ethereal plane could have been either right there, which is at the intersection, and that point in time where the ethereal plane is also the, let me see, let me use yellow here, the intersection right here as well for the tree being planted as well. That could explain a little bit, in the sense that, say this is the main timeline right here. We flip over to the ethereal plane, where we basically come back. Now we're in the ethereal plane, and when we jump out, now we're on a new plane, which is going to be this one, which is the plane where the tree always was versus where the tree did not exist, which was this one right here. So maybe it could be a convergence of two different timelines, and then because of that, we jumped onto this newer timeline where the tree, or we could have always been on the timeline where the tree always existed, which is basically going this way, and then we basically came up, went back to here, planted the tree on the timeline where the tree didn't exist, where I is technically from, and then kept going forward on that timeline where now the tree exists. Which could explain a little bit more as well, even though all this looks like more like scribbles than anything. But that's in that case. But as well, even if the ethereal plane existed over here, and we said a tree timeline here, NT here, tree plant is right here in the point in time where time crosses. If I'm understanding it, was strong enough that the turbulence carried you to the moment in time most likely to be intersection of all that you wished for, which, if that is, so if that is, it should then be the previous one where technically the bubble was over top, where the ethereal plane was at that same point in the intersection. Unless basically what else was also seeing was time going, because in the tunnel basically that we were going through, the wormhole in a sense, I'll go with that. We're going in. Let's switch up. Well, we were going in right here and exiting out right there. But all of this in here had different points in time. We saw a tree going backwards in time, but we also had different visions and visual aspects from the current time over here, and time in the middle, and then time that was probably like super in the future and super in the past that as well. I don't know, because I wasn't paying attention to that fully. It could have been showing different points in time. It's a wormhole, so we're getting transported through the wormhole into ethereal plane, or might not be a wormhole at all. Why do you must freaking anger me, game? Goddamn science.
Does that mean it wasn't by chance that we ended up at the final duel? We were always meant to be there to witness what was going to happen?
The inevitability of fate, which is going back to what I was saying earlier, is that point, that loop that you have in time, where there's 3 points. Generally it'll be 3 points, and it's just point A, which is the tree was planted. Point B was the point where, okay, I need to go back. Point B takes you to point C. Point C is where, oh, I'm the one that plants the seed, and then you plant the seed, and it continues back again. You go back and you continue forward, now on either the same plane and keep going, or you're now on a branched reality, or other kind of things. It's a loop. It's a loop in this point in time that will happen consistently. If time is linear and flows in the same direction as we currently kind of think, I might be wrong. Like I said, I still need to get back into the science of it. I need to get back into the study of that again. But if we are actually on a forward-facing time, like it's to be assumed, then this is a point in time, an inevitable loop in time that has to happen to keep everything going. Where fate is inevitable, that loop is inevitable. That paradoxical moment where I has to be both in that time period and also coming in out from a external time to plant the seed, and then confuse I to doing whatever she does.
I thought that the flow of time was the same on the inside and the outside. So it was a great shock to me when the traveler reappeared. My first thought was, has a great disaster befallen Inazuma? But it turned out you had come to rescue me. You came for my sake, You too have my thanks.
How are...
My body has fully recovered.
I'm hoping that at some point somebody comes in, like, watches this in the future or something, and either corrects my thought process on that, or adds to it, in the sense that I hope somebody comes in here and, like, fact checks that part, because I would not be mad. I would absolutely adore somebody coming in here and going over that and helping me understand if I am thinking correctly on that, or if I'm thinking incorrectly on that, because I'm going based off of a decade old bit of knowledge in the science that could be different now, that could have already been changed, it could have been updated, or I could also be missing some points from that space and time, because I probably forgot more than I remember.
Always thrilled to hear you're in good health. But I was really asking about your emotions. After all, you saw Makoto in there, didn't you?
I only heard her voice. I'll be fine. It brought a few things back, of course, but I've made my decision to move forward.
And right there, they will never have to relive that point again. That's where I'm confused. I think where I'm most confused at it now is after the loop. Now they're back. Are they back at the same exact point where they left the loop? Which obviously they weren't, because time still kept flowing. So are they in a different? Are they on a different timeline now? After two timelines converged, or is it a linear timeline, and now it's just, oh, now we're going to continue over here with, well, this is a point in time in the timeline that needs to be there specifically. Is it just a stopping point and reaches around and takes forward? Is it a stopping point, reaches around and puts you on a new timeline? Is it a back around U-turn that then splits off from the timeline that was on, because that's where the timeline stops? The timeline stops and flows in that circle right there only. I just need to know.
I have to say, this has reminded me once again.
I need to know.
How brilliant Makoto was.
I am sorry if that was stupid or too much science or whatnot, but I am now intrigued. I'm confused and I'm concerned, because I need to know more.
It's all thanks to her that Inazuma lived to see this day. I just planted a seed.
Yeah, it was thanks to everything you did that you got to see her again. That's amazing.
Just because the cause and effect ended up back to front doesn't mean you should undervalue the part you played.
Thank you.
Today, at long last, you and Inazuma finally emerge from the shadow. Makoto and you are Inazuma's past and future. And
It's rare to hear such comforting words from you.
oh, come on. You only think it's rare because you never used to listen to a word I say.
Makoto said the exact same thing.
Great minds think alike, I wonder, does that qualify me to, maybe, take the position of Shogun for a couple of days? Actually, no. Forget that. Far more trouble than it's worth.
We will have to end the frivolities there. There is much work to be done. The Shogun and I will closely review the Inazuma of today to find out where things currently stand. Then, we will give careful consideration to the future. After that, I will abolish the Sakoku decree.
Really?
I am no longer pursuing an eternity defined by stasis. In which case, there is no further need to keep the nation under lock and key. I don't doubt that many challenges lie ahead for Inazuma. I'm looking
Well,
Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma. Abolishing the Sakoku decree has a myriad of implications. It would be folly to say that it will be all positive, and there will be no negative repercussions. For example, I can foresee the outside world posing a threat to Inazuma's businesses. These are the issues that I must work to solve.
Hey, you're thinking about this all so conscientiously. I've only got as far as wondering whether I'll be able to sell entrance tickets to the Grand Narukami Shrine in the future.
Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma. Makoto's gaze was always fixed on the people of... But now, I see that hers was a gaze...
If the people of the past deserve the gods'
Indeed. Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma. To put it bluntly, it was constant torture, with no end in sight. Faced with an endless battle, I had to remain focused at all times. Safe to say, were it not for my previous experiences in combat, and through it all, many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma. But I am prepared. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. It's not only the monsters.
That's a tough one, all right.
Since you clearly understand, many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma. But I am prepared for them.
Yai Miko said nothing of the sort. And the traveler has some nerve making up spurious some words are not. Trust me. You don't want to know the cost of betraying me. Just think of the things I said to you as our little secret.
Because you love her and you want to get in
What are
bed.
you talking about?
Nothing.
Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma.
Okay.
Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma.
Okay, so that's it. That's it for that. Which is great. Means I finished that storyline, which is good. And then I can come over here. I can look at Perilous Trail and... get quest. Alright, so that's going to be the next thing we do. Because like I said, I got to continue the Perilous Trail interlude chapter. I got to do that next as well. So that's going to be kind of fun. I got to do some stuff with Raiden Shogun. Got to explore time travel and timelines, which is kind of interesting. It's a bit more of a concern right now because it's like, are you serious that this is what you're trying to do? Wow, she's level 70. She's ready to go. Now she's finally at the level of everybody else in a sense. But god dang, her attack is massive. Which I haven't done him. I should probably do at some point, but I'm not going to do right now. Ning Wong would actually be pretty good if I didn't already have a badass Geo. She's ready. Level up as well. It's not going to really matter. I'm not going to waste any of my money on that right now. But Navia is now up at the level where she needs to be. Which also, I kind of have to go... Actually, is there one underneath? Oh, wait, no. I don't remember what it was supposed to be. Actually, no. No, hang on. There was a thing I wanted to do. There's a thing I wanted to do. There's a place I wanted to go to. But the game said no. Oh, God damn it. Let me off the wall. Yeah. Because there's stuff in that cavern that I was not able to get to. Oh, never mind. The cavern is like fully open and ready to go into now. Okay. But I can always go back into that fucking... Okay. I don't want to. I don't want to go back in there right now. But there's several things in here that I want, so I'm gonna get these right here. Yeah, okay, that's where that is. Get some of this stuff. There's one of those in there, which I do want to get that. And there's also Torn Page, Talkie Alley Tales prologue. Oh, come on, can I get up there? Mother fudge.
Got it! Yow!
Okay, I think I can go back in there, but I really, really don't want to, just in case that I get sucked into, like, a battle with Raiden Shogun or some shit like that. That'd be kind of bad, I think. Possibly. But I have to go here anyway, so I gotta talk to Catherine real quick. Because I can't really end the stream until I talk to Catherine, at least. Let's talk to Catherine.
Thank you for
Get my
completing
daily commission rewards.
Add
Talk to her
Astra
again. Get my dispatch. Which I think I have a lot of those things right now as well. Yeah, I got a lot of them coming in right here. Hell yeah. I have a lot of holy shnikes. Okay, I have a lot. Good. Good. Okay, it's a lot of stuff that I need. Don't want to touch that right yet. Let's go with that right there. 10 of those, which is fine. Man, what's up here? I did have one. Sweet! I could try for Nahida, but I really don't really want to. Ooh, I could get a couple of those, which would be kind of neat. Details in the unknown. I could. Which, no, I could just switch this, because, like I said. Yeah, cancel that course. Go with that one, because it's a cool freaking staff, man. I have a couple prims anyways, why not? I might be able to get a high class weapon regardless, so that'd be kind of cool. Which would be kind of neat to get like a nice... I don't know what the frickin' one thing means, though. Your fate points will reset upon... once you accumulate enough fate points, your next 5-star weapon will be the one you chose. Okay. That was a complete accident, but fucking sure. Why not? I technically got Nahida's weapon right off the bat, so it doesn't matter. I was actually hoping for, you know, just anything but that, to be honest. I was like hoping for like a normal purple weapon, but no. No, I don't get fucking got, you know. Let's just really... Have to wait to get more prims. But now I can pull Nahida real quick if I really want to, because I have her weapon. which is gonna kind of infuriate me because like I wasn't expecting to gain her weapon. You know? That's nice.
This is just nice, you know. I was not expecting that, but now I have to.
Like, now I have to actually try to pull her. Which is kind of annoying. But is like, you know, sure. I have to go there, which means I have to pop up here and then go all the way over that way. Okay, so that can be done another time. Yeah, it's 9 o'clock. I gotta shower and I gotta go to bed because I'm freaking exhausted. So, with that, thanks for watching. If you like, leave a like. If you dislike, leave a dislike. Want to see more, subscribe. All that nonsense. I will be back Friday night. Not with Genshin. I'm probably gonna be playing some of the Crew Motorfest because the Crew Motorfest just had an update. And it's got a brand new island. It's got brand new cars. It's got brand new races. It's got brand new a lot of things. I'm kind of interested in that. So I'm going to be playing that. Probably that for the Friday night and the Drunk series. But I will be back for Genshin Impact on Sunday. Because of the fact that the Miami Dolphins don't play Sunday. They're going to be playing Monday Night Football, so Monday stream is not going to be Genshin stream, it'll be a Dolphins stream. So with all that, I will see y'all next time, whenever that next time is, which should probably be Friday, if anything, so yeah.